Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Antonov 24, so we are going a bit out of the ordinary planes. I guess continuing with new planes for the YouTube channel. And I haven't flown this one before at least, or at least recorded it whilst flying it. So this is another first. A bit different than flying the Flight Factor 777. Great plane, that one. This one is also great, but in a different way. This is the... And I'm actually trying to figure out which one it is. This is... Let me have a look. This Antonov, we have the speed refs. They're all in Russian though. But they have a manual, right? But the manual doesn't say who created this. Let me see, P3D. I think this is the one from Rikoooo, if I'm not mistaken. And the one from Rikoooo is... Let me see. I don't know who, but let's call it Rikoooo then. Or wait, maybe it says here at the end, author, Sam Design. Andrew Felis, P3D, 6 adaptation by Rikoooo. Okay. So, a pretty versatile team. I know there's a very good Antonov 24 for X-Plane 11, so I'm pretty sure this isn't as good. But I guess just by the names of these orders, it probably has some similarities. It's a very beautiful plane. I've added PBR to it just to make it look a bit nicer, a bit more shiny, a bit more modern look. So it does look very nice. I hope none of the weirdness that we've experienced with some of the other ones when tweaking those things will repeat itself, but we'll know as we progress. But as of now, it does look fine. So let's hope, yeah, let's hope it remains that way. Let's have a look at all this shift. We have these 2D panels that we'll have to use for a lot of things. And let me see, these ones are basically if you want to put the chocks in, all these kind of coverage. So that's pretty cool. There should be something else as well. I'm trying to figure that one out. Let me see. It was a while since I flew this one. Maybe better to open my manual so I don't make any unnecessary mistakes. So in order to connect the GPU, we need to press that. And there we go, that's the GPU. Let's remove all of these coverages and stuff. I'll move this one back to the right corner. Oh yeah, we need to do some more things. We need to I think it's these. These should still be Does it matter if these are? I guess technically it doesn't. Let's put them in the green, since that's what my manual is saying that I should. But yeah, in terms of flying, we're flying with Cubana. We're gonna go down to an airport that's called Aeropuerto Internacional Vilo Acuna. So that's MUCL, which is the Villa Acuna airport. So an island. So we're going a bit south. As you can see, we're not treated with nice weather. It looks very foggy, so that's a bit of a bummer, but it should be a fun flight. Can we open things on this one? That's something I'm wondering myself. So by pressing We can open doors, but that seems to trigger some weird sounds. But they do seem to go away after a while, so that's good at least. Let's try to see which all doors we can open. So I had that one, and then I guess the main one. Let's have a look actually from the aircraft perspective. Do we have a profile for this plane? We do not seem to have one, so we should probably create one now. Let's maybe do that before we jump in. Doesn't take that long, fortunately. So we want to customize it. Without checks is usually the easiest way to go. Now that wasn't too smart of me. Now I closed the... We can do it like that. Check if we have any of these weird ones. We don't, or without customize. We just have to move it in the right. So that should be pretty fine. Let's do it like that. We can accept that. Cargo main. Door without checks is fine, I would say. We need to flip it all the way around. So we just flip that. Very easy when you have a numpad. And let's see, I think this is the most center we'll get. Yeah, that's probably the best. And we can save that. And let's see if we have any other cargos. We do not. Let's check if we have the nose gear. Let's put it there. And then we're basically done. So what we can do is then just to restart GSX, and then we should have it. But yeah, that's it. If we jump inside, we have all the doors open. You'll see we have a pretty nice cockpit. Not all buttons are pressable, and some are only workable in the 2D panels, so that's something to be aware of. But it is, I would say, kind of the mid-tier you'll get in the Russian planes. Of course, the better ones are the Tupolev 154 and 134 that you have in P3D. Those are really kind of high quality ones. Then you have like the Antonov 124 quality and the 225, the Miria, that's like minus quality. And then you have these kind of ones that are, you know, pretty good in some ways. This is probably like the best of the rest kind of thing. So that's yeah, so pretty high standard. And now I'm talking from the Russian plane perspective, right? Because you're not getting the same as you're gonna get with the Boeings and Airbus, right? There's just not enough information, not enough knowledgeable people. So yeah, but they have done a pretty good job. But yeah, don't expect Simony Club or Kai simulation level. That TU-154 and TU-134 are really, really good. At least from my perspective. I've loaded the plane quite full on everything, so we don't have to worry about fuel. Not sure how the Cubana would do their ops, but I assume they would be cost sensitive, so maybe it's cheaper down or up here in Havana. In terms of getting everything started, I guess we could start with the batteries. The batteries are controlled by these two. But you need to do this switch up first. Sorry. There we go. Now we should have batteries. Let me see. I don't think... Have I switched this one out? I used to at some point have a let me just check if I do have it. I was pretty sure I used to have the Reality XPN, but I don't. But I might not anymore have it. So let's see. We can move the fuel switches up. And I think it's basically all of these ones. That's fine. Left, let me see, if move right switch up and left fire hydrant switch. So those should be up. And now we can basically start the APU. I don't think this one is working, but I might be wrong. Might be that I haven't downloaded the right one for this actually. So let's set up the Reality XPN just so we have something to use. We can use the 650, I think should be fine. So it's gonna reload the aircraft, hopefully. Fine. And then instrument panel. So there we go, we have the Garmin. Let me actually see as well if I load the KLN here. If it will work, I started by pressing it. Should do the same here. Could be that we need the APU, right? And I do think the GPU is connected, so that's fine. Let's hope at least. And I think we can just start. There's not, or we could actually do the boarding, just so we get that underway. I'll just do some silly. Let's see what will not go very high. 13,000 feet. Quite short. We are flying the. Let's do ADR. We can do 32 passengers, boarding music. I think we should have a bit for Cubana, because I did try to find, maybe not boarding music. We'll borrow Aeroflot. Pretty okay. Not scenery, pack X. Safety, I should have Cubana. Let's have a look at our weather. I'm not sure though this GPS will work in P3 version 5, so that's something to be aware of. Let's see, one. Guess that was automatically set. So not too bad. Let's see. So we have. Oh yeah, we need to do the. Oh, we lost actually the vehicle when I did the. Let me actually close some of these. I open basically all the ones that are possible to open. There we go. Okay, let's actually ask for the boarding. Request boarding. 30 packs, that should be like one bus. we're quite a bit back already, so not really sure how about the parking, or how well the parking is set up here, but it will have to do for now. In terms of the Antonov 24 itself, it's quite old, built between 59 and 79. A lot of them were built, almost 1,500. It flew for Cubana for quite some time, I think. Let me see if I can see civil operators. They lost a few of them. 5 of them were lost in crashes, so maybe not the best plane out there. Okay, so it looks like a pretty okay GSX setup. It works at least, and looks pretty nice with the PBR. Let's do all the steps so we can start the engines, etc.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight. As you find your seat, be sure to place your large carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you.
Okay, so we need to open
For any of your carry-on items, please use the
that one.
button over your seat and somebody will assist you. After you put your carry-on items in the overhead bin and it is full, make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers.
This I think is for the
Also, be sure
fire.
the aisle is clear and sit down so that way other passengers can get by you. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card
Move
provided
down
for
this
you.
switch.
Please make sure that you are able and willing to perform these actions.
We can open
If
the
you're
lock
not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated.
and then
You are
press
free to
that
use your
button.
portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you and welcome aboard.
Okay, and let's see, the APU gauges are located here, so we can see the APU starting. I am gonna assume that the APU is somewhere, but not 100% sure. Okay, and we can now connect some gauges, so that's good. But I think the APU looks to be fine, so we can do the... let me check that I get it right. So that button should go up. Did we do that already? Or maybe it was the other one. And then... let me see, this one should go up, which it is. This one should also be put up, which it is. And we're basically now ready to start everything.
We're ready to go when you are.
Let me see if I can get this GPS working. Okay, there we go. So we have the boarding kind of ready. We're gonna do this based on our sim brief plan. We'll be flying SIDS and stars, even though we really don't have an autopilot for that, but let's do it anyway. We'll just try to follow it the best we can. We're going to Dutan and then to our airport of MUCL. We need to set in our procedures. So departure procedure is Duta for something B. Transition will be none of these ones anyway. Oh, we have to add one? How do you know which one to add? Let me have a look. We're gonna import the flight plan in P3D. I'm also gonna change to, or sorry, not P3D, in Pilot ADC. We're gonna change here to the Q400. call sign. We haven't used this one in a while. I think this was when we were flying the Dash 100. So let's see if we have Cubana here. We do. So we can keep that as a commuter, or maybe it's an airline actually. No. This is fine, let's keep it as is. We can save and close. And I'm trying to figure out if we can see the transition. So if we're doing the Duta 4, we're not really doing any of those, right? But it won't let us select one if we don't. Oh, that's so annoying. Let's do it. We can do a meet to, and then we'll just delete it. And then that should be fine. And then for MUCL we have MU3A. We have Dutan. We're landing at runway 12. And we can also add the approach, which I guess could be a VOR. Good question actually. Where are we ending up? CL610. So maybe we don't even need. So we should be able to follow that. As long as I remember how to fly this one, it should be fine. Okay, and let's check how it's looking now. This looks pretty reasonable, I would say. 12, 16 Optimus, yeah, this looks good. Let's see if I can. I'll move it to the right of the screen, or I could actually undock it. Let's undock it and keep it on my, unlock it on my other screen. That should be fine. Let's have a look on the outside. Still looking good. APU is up and about. Let's see if we need to do anything. There's quite a bit of things to do still. So starting the engines is when the real work starts. We can close the doors, I would say. There we go. We should soon do the pushback one. I do wonder how it's gonna work. I think the lights for this one are down here, but I'm not 100% sure how they work. This should be the windshield wipers, but I'm not sure if they work either. I think this one works, but maybe only in the 2D panel, so that's something to be aware of. Let's maybe connect as well to the sim. We're taking off from runway 24, that's correct. We're landing at 12. Or actually, the only thing we need to do is just make sure we get the right approach of the VOR. We can load that. We can activate it, make sure we get it. So you see it's a very short flight, which is nice. Should be easy to wrap up then. The only thing I'll need to make sure I get is how to do heading mode. Then we can figure out the VOR once we get closer. Let's get the right. Something is off. I'm not getting any avionics. So there's definitely something I've forgotten to push. And the question is what did I forget? Can't seem to figure this one out in any easy way. Just feels like there's some button I'm totally forgetting. Let me see if there's anything with avionics. Let me see, we have these different inverters. Could those be... Could those be the key? And that's on. That's super strange. Let's maybe start the engine, see how we go from there. We don't need any pushback, etc. Anyway. Then we can connect, or then we can check maybe a shortcut just to get the avionics up and running. Okay, let's see. To start the engines should be relatively straightforward. We have to remove this lock here. Okay. Now let me see. Actually, I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna close the GPS for now. Let's make sure I get it right. So if we want to start, let's say we want to start the right one first, that should be down. We should move that one up, some sort of protection. So that one should go up. And let's see, are we getting anything? Any success? Nada. Nothing as of yet. That's not very good news. Maybe we need to have both. Huh. Very odd. It should basically just be pressing that one and then they up. I can see already what's the problem. We don't have the fuel systems on. So that's gonna create an issue. Let's try. Unless... We're not getting any power. Super strange. I've had this issue before. It could be because I reloaded the aircraft. Sometimes that, of course, and what I do then is just Control E. It should normally work. So this is just me having messed it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for the 48.
If that's engine 1 and engine 2. It's basically just following these steps, and the only change you make is you switch this one. So up is the right engine or left engine, and then down is the second or the right engine. Let's see, we can these are up. Well, let's check if they're up on the right one. And they do seem to be up on the right one as well. Let me close some of these. Okay, there's some click spots here, so if you press there you get the autopilot panel. Let me just check. Okay, so the generators are on. We want to connect those and that one. And now we have the systems up. Look at that. Look at that. So I think we can approve. Okay, so this one is pretty neat. Let's check message inside airspace. Not really sure how this one is supposed to work, but we have let me see, course. Can I direct to? Okay, let's see if we have any. Okay, you can't write direct there. Oh, there we go. So we can do direct to with this one. That's pretty nice. Let me have a look at the instrument panel. I just want to have a look. So let's say we want to go directly. I'm gonna lock this the GPS outside the window just so we have it. But let's say I want to go to Dutan. So then I guess I would write. So not the easiest to use this one. So we use that. We would enter. How do you go to the next one? Or are you? Pretty nice though with this yeah, I need to check this one up at some point, but it's but nice to see that it does work. Maybe we can keep it on that map mode. Nav 5, can we zoom in on this one in any way? Shape or form? Nope. So we can just see a bit. Maybe we can then change. Do we have any sort of useful information with this one? We have DTAs if we get in the direct. But yeah, pretty nice. I'm definitely gonna try to learn this one for the next flight. But this one will use the Garmin and just kind of follow the flight plan through that. Let's try to check if we can get to the right frequency. That should be the clearance ground. So we can try 121.
The cabin is ready for takeoff.
At 9. Oh, we're actually on the wrong one. Let's see, 121 at 9. Cubana 4003. We're ready to copy IFR clearance.
Cubana 4003 is cleared to Mike Uniform Charlie Lima climb via the Duta for Bravo departure then S5. Expect departure runway 24. Climb to flight level 060 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure.
Okay,
Pavana approach on wind to 0.3 squawk 4004.
We'll put in
Cubana
that.
4003 is cleared to Mike Uniform Charlie Lima.
And
Climb
the
via
radios
Duta for Bravo
are...
departure, then is filed. Climb to flight
Here's the
level
nav
060
one.
via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure.
Here's the
Havana
normal
approach on
radios.
120.3. Squawk 4004.
And the question is, where's the...
Cubana 4003 read back correct QNHs 1010. Let's know when you are ready for
Where's the
pushback.
TCAS
QNH
system?
1010
Somewhere,
Cubana
somewhere.
4003.
Let's have a look on the outside. Wait, let's actually close the... the... what's it called? The GPS, so I can look through my notes. So after we put the generators on, we need to set this one up. And then we need to reset the engine and APU panel. So the way we won't need those, we won't need that. How do we shut down the APU though? That would be good knowledge. Because I assume you don't want to keep it on, but oh well. Let's check that later. We want to put on window heat, and let me see, I think that's the window heat. And then the horizons, so that's these two. We want to set radio altimeters. I assume this is what, let me see, it seems to be working. We are supposed to be at an altitude pretty low probably, because we're on an island. So 217 feet. Probably something you can change in the 2D panel. Or maybe not. Or maybe it's just the altimeter itself in terms of how... I don't know. I do not know. Navigation lights. We should put those on. And if I am checking this correctly, it should be those. Looks like we have those on now, green and red. Turn on the fuel gauge. So as you can see, there's a lot of steps after. That's the fuel one. Okay, so let's see. It should be quite heavy. Even heavier than I thought. So I think we're at... Oh, technically this one might not... Oh, maybe it's reset it a bit. Let me see, what did it go to? 50. Okay. Seems to not have any passengers going to that one, but oh well. these should be the pitot heat. And we should put them in the up position. We can set the latitude. And I just do the C, and latitude should be 22. That should be 22. And then the horizons, I think, let me check. Let me see, set the course. So what are we looking at now? $1 million question, right? 15. So we should set this one here to 15. And then we should press that one to move the Doppler. Then we should correct the gyro compass. Let's check if we're pressing it in the wrong. Or if I'm forgetting one button, I hope not. The radar system seems to be up here. Let me see this one. So the way you want to start it is by pressing that, going to Meteo, and let me see. And now we have the radar working. Okay, so it does work here in this panel as well. So that's pretty cool. Still not sure with some of these system. Let me also try to disconnect. So we don't have the GPU anymore. Not sure why I haven't been able to shut down the I think that should be the APU shut off, or don't think that was for the engines at least. Doesn't look like it. And let me check the last one. So what the kind of final thing we want to do is these 3 switches. That will get us the autopilot system. Then we want to set the trims. So we are a bit ready. And then we do want to set the flaps. Not sure what's going on with the ailerons. The elevator seems to be working, but the aileron seems to be a bit stuck. So let's actually try to not put these on, see what happens. Okay, now they seem to be working. So let's wait with the autopilot. So let's see, to get the taxi lights, we need to go back to the 2D panel. This one should go on, and then let me see which one. This one we wanna keep down before takeoff. Oh wait, now I'm trying to figure out N1 and 2. Which one is which? What's this one? So navigation on, switches up. Is this on? Yeah, here it is. So we can get those on. I feel like I'm missing some of the lights. Oh, here it was. Remember to shut down the APU, and the way you shut that down is... Where the hell is that one? It's did that do anything? No, that was the landing lights, which should go up. Oh my god. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that's up. That's the landing lights. If it goes down, is that the taxi lights? Okay, I'm gonna assume that's the logic. And interesting enough, the way to shut down the APU is supposed to be this one. But yeah, something seems to have gone a bit wrong, so I guess we'll be flying with an APU on. As you notice, I couldn't start the engines properly, right? So just some tad bit of a mistake. I'll need to learn this one though, how to use the click spots to get the waypoints, etc. Cubana 4003, ready for pushback.
Cubana 4003 pushback approved.
Pushback approved Cubana 4003.
I hope it's nothing else I missed. Battery should be on. So that's good. Fuel switches. They are correct. All these fire are correct. That one is up. Generator is connected. Generators, AC inverters. Yeah, looks correct. Could be something that we're missing. Yeah, let's not press those. Don't want to end up feathering the engines by mistake. Reset engine panel, turn on window heaters and horizon. Ah, I know which one I forgot. This one. There we go. Now we have the horizons and the radial altimeters. Jolly. And I think that's it, what I have written down. So let's get going. And let's also open the GPS so we can have that on my other screen. We'll lock that. And let's ask for taxi. Cubana 4003, ready to taxi.
Cubana 4003 runway 24 taxi via Alpha Hotel, hold short runway 24.
Okay, let's see, we released the parking brake.
Taxi via Alpha Hotel, hold short
Let's
runway
provide a bit of trust.
4003.
See if we can get moving. I'll close the upper menu. Or I'll close it very shortly. Just need to move my mouse to my screen so I can close it. Okay, I can throttle down a bit. So we have a bit of taxiing to do. It does taxi pretty nicely, maybe a bit fast, a bit jumpy, but I do feel like most of the, like even the Majestic is a bit jumpy, right? So I guess they're a bit, I mean, big engines, small plane. But yeah, looking pretty good. Apart from that we don't have any flaps set. But now we should have some. And the flap position is somewhere, which we can find out shortly. But yeah, short flight, flying with the GTN, so a bit more modern than I would have wanted. Would have been cool if we could get this really old KLN working, but it's almost the same flying with the GTN. Technically what I could have done is integrated so that the GTN would show up there on the screen instead of the KLN, but oh well, not the end of the world. Let's turn here and we'll just taxi straight. Let's check how much time this took. 52 minutes. Well, could have been faster or slower, I guess. The thing will be to read up on the autopilot. So manual autopilot navigation, landing autopilot. So we have trim and pitch stabilizer. Bottom, middle buttons. Lower one is level flight. So that's the autopilot, trim, land. God, I've written these manuals really not the best. I've just been trying to to get it make it make sense somehow, right? But yeah, it looks pretty nice this with the Matthias Cuba scenery, etc. It's a pretty nice airport actually, this MUHA one. And now with the PBR on this aircraft, it's extra nice actually to fly the Antonov An-24. Pitch, CRS. Which one is the... Okay, we can do bank. Can we do heading? Is heading select something? I think the thing is that this one doesn't even have... I'm not sure how it's connected to this one, right? But if I remember it correctly, it should just be manual autopilot navigation, so nothing to follow like a magenta line or a GPS, but I could be wrong. Okay, and let's see, we should get the handover. Let's maybe turn here, can brake a bit. Let's check maybe, because I think we got cabin clear, etc. Yeah, so we should be fine.
Cubana 4003 contact Marti Tavarun 118.1.
Let's make sure nobody's coming in for landing. Doesn't look like it. Cubana 4003 ready for takeoff. Did that go through? Let's try again. Cubana 4003 ready for takeoff.
Cubana 4003 winds are 205 at 10 knots gusting to 20 knots. Runway 24 cleared for takeoff squawk 4004.
Okay, let's give it a
Runway
try.
24 cleared for takeoff squawking 4004 Cubana 4003.
Okay, so this will be interesting now. So we'll be just going straight at first, which should help us if we can just get stabilized, then we can start playing around with the autopilot. One thing we needed to do actually now, just before I forget, is to get those landing lights on. I don't think we have it down here. Let me check though if I... Is there anyone I am... Oh no, it's that one actually. So that's very nice. Looks good. And let's give it a try. Let's check the ref page though that I had. Doesn't say too much, it's all in Russian though. God damn it. We'll have to make do. Maybe around 200 plus kilometers per hour should be enough to get this bird up in the air. Let's hopefully not strain the engines too much. Okay, that should be enough I think. Let's push forward. You know, when you see the Russians fly these planes, some of these Antonovs, they're always very kind of hard on the yoke. So we gotta fulfill that. So we'll push it down. Now let's see in terms of speed. We have an... Oh, okay, we don't want to push it down for too long. Let's trim it up a bit. Can we see our speed somewhere? There it is. So 250, we're coming up to 300. Let's do gears up. Let's trim a bit more, so we get into a bit of a climb. I'll throttle back a bit. Let's try all of these. And now we can still control it, so that's good. We can continue straight. We should probably soon turn though. We have this one, the AOA indicators, that's gonna help a bit. Can we open the windows on this? Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's not open them though. Okay, let's start turning left to 149. Or actually, that really does give us an autopilot, so we can't really use that.
Cubana 4003, contact Havana approach on 120.3.
And we want to get up to 13,000 feet. Let's try to get on the line again, and then we can start playing around with the autopilot. Oh, we don't need the flaps anymore.
4003, good morning.
That should help us increase our speed. It's looking pretty good. I don't think there was anything mega to worry about weather-wise. Well, let me have a look actually. Few at 2000, so the problem might be visually. And I'm actually gonna move this one, the GPS, back to the sim, because I'm noticing I'm closing it by mistake basically all the time. We'll put it down in the right corner, I'll lock it there. Okay, we're getting some lag. Yep, that was 100% due to the GPS, unfortunately.
Cubana 4003, expect the E-Mun 3 Alpha arrival with the and transition for the VOR approach to runway 12 with the CL610 transition at Rikoooo International.
Oh, that's interesting. So when we don't have it on the
Expect the EMUN3 arrival with the Ditton
God damn.
transition for the VO or approach to runway 12 with the CL610 transition Cubana 4003.
Okay, we'll have to keep it on the other screen. That seems to help a lot our FPS. I think it's just bugged since I have moved it away before. Okay, so we're still climbing, still looking good. We're still on the approach.
Cubana 4003 climb and maintain flight level 130.
Let's trim a bit down.
Climb and maintain flight level 130 Cubana 4003.
I don't know if there's any
Cubana
prop.
4003 contact Havana Center
Wondering
on
if this one
120.25.
does that,
Center
but
on
I'm too
120.25
scared to
Cubana
mess anything up
4003.
now, so let's avoid that for now. Let's though instead try to finally get this autopilot
Center Cubana
working.
4003 climbing to flight level 130.
Okay, let's see.
Cubana 4003, good morning.
Okay, so we're still climbing, that's good. In terms of the manual, so that's trim, that's pitch, bank, land. Yeah, let's see if I turn. Okay, now we're turning. Now we're going straight. Now we'll turn a bit to the right. Okay, so we seem to have that working. Can we follow a heading? Would be my next question. But not sure how we even put in a heading with this one. I'm gonna assume we don't have a heading to follow. We're basically gonna have to do this with just banking. This is how the autopilot is working now. So we're just basically having this bank indicator, right? We have it on. This one seems to be wings. Hold out. The altitude seems to be this one. So that's good to be aware of. Now I think we can level off. So that's good. Oh, no, sorry, not level off, but stop our turn. We need to trim a bit forward. I feel like we're still pitching up way too much. But yeah, look at that. Here we are flying. We are on. Are the flaps really at 0? Now they are at 0. Sorry about that. Seems like this one also gets stuck with the flap. There's a few planes that have that issue with. One of them being the Mad Dog, the iFly 737 Max, and then this one now. So the third plane I have that issue with. Let's turn a bit more to the right. Just tiny amounts. Nothing crazy. Did we get clearance to go all the way up to 130? Okay, let's see if it gives us even higher ones, because it seems to have, for some reason, populated with a cruise level of 25,000, which seems nuts. Because we only have 84 nautical miles left. Okay, let's stop turning. Anything else? No. We are climbing, albeit slowly. Could we get a good picture maybe? I took one at the ground, but I wasn't too happy with that one, so maybe we can get this one when it's climbing. So yeah, overall works pretty well, apart from some of the kings. The main ones is the AP, which is now stopped actually. So that's good, so it does work. But the main issue I've had is starting the engines. Sometimes that's me screwing it up, but that's just something to be aware of. And then just do Control E and it will start. And then I need to try this one, see how if I can get this KLN 90 to work. Never used KLN, so I really want to learn it, even if it's just a bit. Sucks that it's very foggy. Seems to have been some nasty weather here. Looks almost a bit like what's it called? Cumulo omnibus. Now we need to actually turn the other way. So let's see if we can turn enough.
Cubana 4003 descent via the MUHA arrival with the Dudan transition to flight level 130 QNH is 1010 at below Cubana International
I
Airport.
love we got the descent clearance to the one we are flying to.
Transition to flight level 130 QNH is 1010 Cubana 4003.
Let's put the normal QNH. As I doubt they're using the American system. Let's be prepared actually to level off at 13,000 feet. I really want to see if I have the autopilot correct in that regard. The radar isn't showing anything, so I'm gonna assume that it's working. One shouldn't assume, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, let's be prepared. Let's press the button to level off. And we are leveling off. Wonderful. That's very good. Very happy days. And look at this. We have some nice islands here and there. And now we're seeing a bit more of the beautiful Cuban land area. Maybe we want to take another picture, actually not one with climbing, but where we can see a bit of Cuba in the background. That's usually nicer. Okay, I'm gonna slow down just a tad bit since we're not climbing. We seem to be going pretty well. We have about 72. I can start descending in maybe 15 to 20 nautical miles. Should be fine. So I'm just gonna quickly go and get something to drink, and then I'll need to come back and we'll need to check the more important stuff, which is actually the VOR. And we don't. Let me see MUCL charts. I did seem to find the charts. And did I find the VOR? No, that was the RNAV approach. This is the RNAV. And the VOR is 121. And we're coming in with a course of 30, not 309, 129, right? Yeah, 129. Perfect. So I'll be right back.
Control, Thomas Cook 580 Hotel, request
Okay. The captain has returned. We have 38 nautical miles to go. We are past our top of descent, so let's ask if we can descend to 4,000 feet. I think that should be good enough. Or hopefully at least. Cubana 4003. Request flight level 040.
Cubana 4003 negative. Descend and maintain flight level 050.
Okay, I guess that's
Descend
more
and
correct,
maintain
right?
Flight level 050 Cubana 4003.
Okay, so we'll descend and maintain flight level 050. Now, let's check how we do that. So I'm gonna trim it down. See if that's gonna be enough to... No, it's still keeping us. Okay, that's how we have to do it. Have to close the trim switches. So now we should be descending as planned. And we should have the right... no, sorry. Do we have the... Let's just put it on both our nav radios, 'cause I'm not sure which is the active one. And then... the big question is, where do we put in the course? Not that it's gonna be... Let's throttle down quite a bit. I'll trim up a bit as well. Not too much though, because we do want to descend. Well, yeah, look at this beautiful country. It's very beautiful actually. I really like flying around Cuba. So I've gotten some more freeware ones. I think I only have 3. I have Helguin, and then Santa Clara, and then this one, right? The... What's this airport called? I always I always forget the one. The Cayo Largo. God, sounds like a real American pronouncing that. But you get what I'm trying to say. Can be... let me think. So, if we want to set the course, where do we set that little thing? $1 million question. Must be this one, right? Oh, was it 129, right? I do wonder if there's anything you need to put on, because this looks to be a bit shut down. So there was the VOR. Anything we can do here? I guess this is the navigation station. Anything here? Yeah, no clue actually. Sucks a bit though, cause can't even use the autopilot panel that I have, so it basically doesn't give any inputs. So I'm really not sure what course we're
Cubana
heading for.
4003 contact Santa Clara approach on 119.1.
I'm
Approach
wondering
on
if there's some
119.1
button we
Cubana
have forgotten to
4003.
press. And now not thinking from the manual, but if my manual could be broken, right?
Approach
I haven't
Cubana 4003
tried it
descending
enough.
via the EMUN-3A arrival with the Dutton transition to flight level 050.
Cubana
Isn't this one the
4003
course
good
though?
morning. Continue descent via the EMUN-3 Alpha arrival with the Dutton transition.
Continue descent via the EMUN-3 Alpha arrival with the Dutton
So let's put
transition
it
Cubana
like that.
4003.
Okay, we're still descending. We're definitely below 250 knots, so that's good. We only have 35 nautical miles to go. Let's see if I can unlock. Let's see if I can get the GPS back. Nah, still nothing. Not even if I lock it. Nah, not even if I lock it. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep the GPS on my other screen. Makes it easier for me to see it, but of course sucks when I can't show it to you guys, but I can show you this instead. So we're a bit off. So we should probably turn a bit to the right. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Maybe we can force it a bit more. Now go straight. We're almost at 4,000. We have 10 nautical miles to go. I'll trim it up a bit and add a bit of thrust. Looks to be pretty good weather now. Let me have a look again at the information we got. What's the minimums on this one? 440. Can we set that? If we can, this one or okay, we can't set the minimums. Or no, that's the altimeter, the Russian one. Okay, so we can't set. Let me see if we switch between these. Doesn't seem to give us anything. So I guess we'll just have to call it out when we see it, right? I assume it's gonna be descending at some point. Turn a bit more to the right. Let's check, so we should be at 3,000. For the approach we should be at 3,000 and then at 1,500 once we get to Optimus. Missed approach is basically just straight ahead and then a turn to the right. Anything else we need to think of? Let me close these ones maybe. Me checking when I was adding the PBR. Let me see now what's going on. That's very odd. It's not letting me... I can change the viewpoints, but I can't see the airplane from the outside. That's very odd. Okay. Yeah, we're not having the best of days today, unfortunately.
Cubana
Well,
4003,
we'll just have to
you are
make do
18 nautical miles northwest
flying
of the
old
airport.
school, or
QNH is
flying
1010 cleared for the
in the
VOR
cabin.
approach to runway 12 with the CL610 transition at Rikoooo International Airport.
QNH is 1010 cleared for the VO or approach to
Okay,
runway
we can
12
continue
with the
descending
CL610
now.
transition at Rikoooo International
I'll
Airport, Cubana
throttle down a bit.
4003.
Wait, what's going on here? Do we even have... Okay, something is up. Something is going on now. Not something not good. Let me see if we can. Let's close chase plane. See if we can restart that.
Kimpje Delta descent 3000 feet on dan 009. 3000 yep, 3 Delta.
We can get the outside views, but that's so strange. Trying to figure out what would be the best thing to do. Maybe the best thing would be to switch planes. I hope it doesn't crash. I know this is a bit of a risky move.
Kimpje Verzoek descent 2000.
It's the only one I can come up with now, since let me change view to cockpit. Yeah, this is not good. Let me pause. I'll try to fix this. Salvage it somehow. There we go. Sorry guys, I had to... Apparently Sim Connect crashed, so not the sim. That's why we had sim working, but the rest was acting up, right? Because a lot of dependencies on Sim Connect, for example, chase plane. But as I was able to do it, I was actually able to get more things working. So there were some there were some benefits to actually having to restart. So all is not doom and gloom, in other words. We are supposed to be at 3000 feet pretty soon, so let's see if we are able to do that. I'll try to connect. Let me see. Okay, we need to descend a bit actually. And I need to try to get the autopilot going again, just to make sure that we are still flying with that. Now we should be flying with the autopilot. I hope at least. Maybe we can turn a bit further. We got the clearance to the landing. I also now made sure we have the Garmin here, right? I didn't place us perfectly, so we are a bit different from what we were. Let's check what they gave us in terms of the approach. Let's see, what did we get in terms of the approach? We got no altimeter. Okay. No, we got it 1010, which is fine. We will put that in. One thing we didn't do though is set the right nav mode, or right and right, but we didn't set the right. Now we need to continue descending, and I'm actually gonna lower the speed quite a bit. At the same time, I'm gonna start turning back a bit, make sure that these are set correctly. 129, right? And 129. Okay. Let's turn a bit more. We're still descending, so it's looking pretty good. Let's continue turning. Seems like we can at least start seeing the localizers. That's good. We don't want to descend this fast though, so I'm gonna trim it up quite a bit, because we're basically at the altitude we want to be at. I'm also gonna, I think, start hand flying this one. So I'm gonna turn off all the autopilot things. They are of course good, but the risk being that you get too dependent on them, right? And we're a bit low. Gonna go flap 1. Okay, and let's see now. We're turning for the airport. Okay, we have the course now. And we have set everything kind of properly. So let me see if we are... I'll follow the magenta line, like a true modern day flight simmer. Oh. One thing we forgot to change, and actually we should bring yeah, let's see if we can get this to work now. I had to basically move us all the way here. I thought that was the quickest way to do it. So let me open the instrumental panel again, make sure we are following. And I'm gonna climb, I think, just a tiny bit, so we don't need to get down just yet. We should still be at 1500 for a while. But yeah, look at this beautiful approach. So yeah, it's not the perfect approach I had envisioned, just because of the issues, right, with the plane itself. But it's not bad. Okay, so let's get that Garmin. Let's see if it's locked in position. It is locked. And let's just continue on this. Are we getting the localizer closer now? Do we have some flaps? We do have some flaps, so that's good. So that's at least working. Can we see the airport at all? The minimums were around 300 if I'm not mistaken. Nothing yet with the airport. So we're arriving at one of these waypoints. As you can see, this one is also now properly set up, right? So I was able to get that. Let's drop the gears and gain a bit more in terms of oh, we need to descend now. Yeah, let's get a bit more drag. Not sure you do full flaps, but well, let's just do it just to make sure. I could see the runway there. Weird though how this localizer, is it a bit of an offset or is it just that I put it in wrong? Actually, I'm just quickly gonna check so I'll pause. Did I remove that? Maybe. Sorry for this, guys. Not so truthful. 121. Let's check if it's the right localizer so we don't give you any wrong information. Ah, could it be that there is? No, there is one. Strange. We're not picking it up. Could technically be because of other issues. But yeah, really not sure why we're not seeing the VR. We should see it, right? I can't figure it out actually. I mean, we're technically not on center line, so that could be it. We're way high, way too high. So we're gonna be a bit extreme here. Let's try to maintain. Let's check the AOA indicator. Let's see if we get the no effect on the localizer. That's a bummer, but it is what it is. Let's continue descending. We're on the right, everything else, so that's good. Let's trim it out a bit. Was that our minimums? Oh, you should be able to move that, shouldn't you? Oh, but maybe I missed that. Let's not crash into these buildings. I doubt that they're placed like that in real life. But yeah, this is a freeware that I've kind of adjusted in order to make it work. We'll probably overshoot a bit the threshold, but we'll be fine. We're, you know, turboprop. There's enough runway. Let's see. Oh, a bit of a bounce, but that should do the trick. Yeah, this is a pretty long runway, so we have enough time to get down, even though that's really not the way you want to do it, to be honest. Let's turn around here and get to land. So this one is really fun to fly. Don't know why we had so many issues. The first one, I'm pretty sure it's because I switched between the different planes. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video, and then I ended up doing one, right? So, not food for thought, but something to keep in mind is to always just restart your game, right? And if you notice something's wrong, just do it. Just do it again. I should have when I noticed things weren't working. I mean, that should have been a telltale sign for something's gonna break. But yeah, otherwise fine landing. We overshot it. I'll blame those buildings though. I mean, maybe I could have been a bit more aggressive with those, but I didn't want to crash into those. But other than that, it works pretty well. Now when I did start my sim up again and start this plane, I was also able to get it started. I was able to get basically everything but the well, the APU I haven't shut down, but I guess we can keep that on. Since we're anyway gonna be parking now. So yeah, that was the only thing I forgot of the pre-flight things. But basically everything else I got kind of nicely set up. This VR thing I need to have a look at. Could it have been that I changed some of these? I'll have to have a look at that. No clue actually. Let's change this to the taxi lights. Oh, I just realized we don't have pilot to ADC letting us know what's going on. And it's weird. Oh, it's because I didn't validate and file the flight plan, which I should have done again, right, when we lost connection. So just a minor error on my end. But yeah, I can otherwise highly recommend this Rikoooo An-24. It's really good, apart from, you know, 2D panel dependence. It's very well implemented, it flies nicely. If you learn this one, the KL N90, then you'll probably have a lot more fun. Okay, let's see, we'll just park here and then check the landing and wrap up for today. I've had enough weirdness. What are those? Is that like the light showing? Let me just see if I shut these. Yeah, then it seems to stop. Interesting, very interesting. Let's see if I can remember how to shut these engines. It's been a while since I flew this one, right? So, but I think after this video I might do another. Let's see if we can thrust reverse it. Doesn't seem like it. We'll just put parking brakes. Does it have thrust reversers though? Possibly. So it's not there. My guess is this must be the engine shutdown for both engines. So let's have a look at Pack X and see if we can get the... Maybe we can try to open a door. See if that will help us. But yeah, let's see if the VR thing, I need to do some tests, because if that doesn't work then it's really hard, right, to fly. Landing rate 164, yeah, pretty fine. We can save that, then go and look at the instant replay. Yeah, we need to go back a bit further. But yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty good here. Very nice with the Matthias photoreal. He's done a really good job with that. I'm actually wondering if this one actually has those kind of buildings. Let's have a look. If there's any pictures of it. Nah, they shouldn't be that high. Just checking some real life pictures. So I guess that autogen is a bit off. Oh yeah, we did overshoot the threshold by a bit, trying not to bounce into those buildings. But it's pretty quick to stop this one. Let's see if we get down without the front, because we're coming in quite hot, and try to trim it a bit at the end, just to have it easier. But I feel like we're gonna hit with the front first. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, kind of with all of the wheels at the same time, and then we'll hit. Yeah, it's not the best landing either, but it will do. I mean, I'm just happy we got the video done right after the Sim Connect failure. But yeah, I'll recommend this in the Hall of Good. Maybe very good minus from like the kind of Russian planes you have available. This is a pretty decent freeware. And yeah, in terms of that, it's very decent, right? Freeware. I mean, I would say this is as good as the Coronado ones, right? And they are payware, 50 bucks for one of those planes. That's also one thing I'm gonna do, probably the ATR with the Cubana livery. That would be nice, doing some hops here as well. That one is, I guess, the best one of the Coronados, so that one should at least be fun. But let's see. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was a bit longer than I thought with all these errors, and then of course with setting it up right and having those bugs, but we landed, and yeah, that's good enough. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, and otherwise, until next time, bye bye.